All right, so Dayo D1, right? Let me see if I can D1 or Adeneye, yeah, something like that. I forgot his name. Ray Power. I'm just gonna use that to find it real quick, so you guys can know who I am talking about. Let's see here. Dayo. Okay, it looks much older these days, but let me just use this picture. All right, so Dayo D1 is a legendary broadcaster, from Nigeria. He's 63, something like that right now. He was on the show. It was on Honest Bunch. And then he was talking about how the ladies of nowadays, that the only thing they do on Instagram is that they show their bum bum. They will just do like this, something like that. Like that's what they do on Instagram. And I said, D1, what do you mean that's what they do? Like, okay, all right, let me not cap, okay? The reality is that there are lots of women. The only way they can take pictures on social media is if they show some bum bum. It's just what it is, right? So it seemed like he was lamenting a little bit about that. I'm trying to see if I can find that video for you guys so we can make sense out of it, because I don't want to assume that you've seen it. Let's see here. Okay, Nedu will probably have it. Nedu Wazobia will have it on his page. Nedu official. There you go. All right, so let's see here. Wow, they're dropping. Okay, I found it. Let me see here. Okay, I found it. Let me play this for you. Oh wait, you guys can see it already? No, not yet. Let me play for you. Share this. Okay, there you go. All right, so let's play it and then we'll talk about it. He's 63 and still good looking. Yes, he looks good for 63. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. There's so many 63 people there that their back is bent right now. Let me play this.
Comes out of their mouths these days.
Yeah.
Do you listen to what our young women, what comes out of their mouths these days? Everything is about materialistic things. You must take care of me. Do you see what they ask somebody, what do you bring to the table? Say, look at me now. What do you bring to the table? Our women don't say, I have brains, I can do this, I can do accounting, I can help you take your business to the next level. They think this is the table. I have breasts, I have nyash. Go through your Instagram. No. I would say like I'm an elder.
Yes.
Go through your Instagram page. Before you see 10 pictures, you will see somebody doing like this. That's what they put forward, their bodies. They think this is the best part of them. Once I show yansh like this, I go get followers. Some guys go enter my DM. Because after the man don't knock you, what next? If there's nothing up here that you can you help me with my company? Can you do accounting? Can you do some? Can you help me market? Can you get me new clients? Am I going to knock you for 24 hours? We don't knock 5 minutes. I don't get a hand. So what's next? After that, you go begin go now. Because our business, if I don't make money, would I be able to call you the next time and say maybe we knock again? Do you listen to what our young women?
All right. He made some really, really good points. About 80% of what he said, as usual, are really, really good points. All right, but it's about 3% of what he said that becomes the reason why I'm bringing this up right now. Right? What did Tima say? Tima said, "Why do I have to take your business to the next level?" It's your husband now. Well, he didn't say husband, he didn't say marriage, right? It's just talking about dating. But on this video, on this particular segment, I don't want to come off as I'm capping at all. I just want to show you some things, right? Like I said, about 87.33% of what he said makes sense, right? But there are a couple of things that we should address in that, okay? Particularly not for him. I think he got this. He figured this out. But he has no idea who he's talking to. He has no idea the people is... He has no idea the way the people that he's talking to would interpret what he's saying. He has no idea that somebody's going to try to toast a woman with, what do you bring to the table? He's not thinking that, right? When anybody say what do you bring to the table, he's thinking of it in terms of, what, like Like somebody comes to your house and say, Ododo kombe lagbala yin ta fe ja, right? There's flower in your garden and I would like to pluck, right? There's a girl in your household, I really like her and I wanted to ask her hand in marriage. And then you go, you know how you would say, what are your intentions with my daughter? That's the way he's thinking about what do you bring to the table. And that's the way it seems like it was probably original, like that's probably the original context of that question. But today you have let me exaggerate small. You have a 13 years old in GSS1 asking a classmate, what do you bring to the table? He has no idea. Tima say, no, I take my comment back. Which comment did you take back? This one or this one? Which one did you take back? Right? So I don't think he's aware of the context in which they use that question. Or maybe he's just saying, what do you bring to the table? He's like, what do you bring to the table? He said, can you help your husband? Like, are you smart? Are you intelligent? And that question also poses and it sounds like some kind of level of generalization, because now a woman who actually feels like they bring something to the table, not only feel, but they've demonstrated that, will get triggered and said, and a woman who is like just dating and it's like, we're talking dating, why are you talking about what do I bring to the table? We ask this question and say, wait, why do I have to take your business to the next level? We don't even know each other like that, right? Exactly. So these are the problems with generalizations, and I don't think he meant to generalize, but that he's good looking. Stop the cap. His visual field for his interpretation of today's relationship is limited to his generation. Yes, that's what is going on here. But let me enlighten to anybody that might care for it. Let's play it again.
What comes out of their mouths these days?
What comes out of their mouth these days? There's a girl right now on social media. She was on this same show, Honest Bunch. And what she became popular for was that Onfema do and what anybody to fair do. That's what she became like nasty talk, right? I can't use that girl to determine the rest of the larger population. I just can't. If I watch that girl, right, the algorithms will show me more of that girl, right? See, back in the days, let's educate Baba Shonaya, Dayo. I don't know, Bros D1, right? Let's enlighten. I'm sure we understand what we're talking about if we really break it down. See, back in the days when he was in media, right? The media was the airwaves, right? People tune in. You have to do all kind of gymnastics to be able to count how many people actually listen to that radio in any given year, right? But today in social media, no. There's machine learning, there's algorithms, right, behind the scenes looking at what you watch, and then it goes around the internet, right? So if you don't get notification here, it's because you're not watching this channel enough. You're watching more stuff that are more like what you want to see. It is what it is. That's just the reality, right? We can't get angry about that. That's what the algorithm does. The algorithms are smarter, potentially smarter than you, right? So if you watch that girl, right, the algorithms, yeah, we're gonna find more like her for you and show it to you so that you don't think I'm capping. Let me show you, okay? I'm actually just gonna go ahead. I don't use my Instagram like that. I just watch what's on my feed. But the algorithm is still measuring. Anytime I'm scrolling through the algorithm and I slow down and I go back, right? When you go back like that, it sees it. It's noted that you went back. Like, that caught your attention. He probably wants to see more stuff like that. Let's show him more stuff like that, right? So Baba is not realizing that he's telling on himself when he's saying that these are the kind of stuff you see on your feed, right? Did he hear it by second hand? Abi, this is just his own experience. Your experience on Instagram is essentially what you consume. That's the way it works, right? But Baba is like, that's what all the girls are doing. No, all the girls in your algorithm, in your own particular algorithm, your own profile, all the girls in that algorithm, That's how they talk. That's what they do, right? That's basically what you're consuming, right? When you understand that, you will give yourself some grace and say, I'm not as perfect as I think. I've been watching some type of stuff on Instagram. So I'm going to show you something really quickly. Let me share this tab. This is my Instagram page, my personal, right? If I go to explore, the explore page, this explore page will get populated based off of what the algorithms think are consumed. I'm just going there. I don't really go there. I don't go to the explore page like that, okay? But if you want to see the kind of stuff that the algorithm thinks you can consume, just come here and you can see them. All right, so this is Terrence Howard. I don't really look at Terrence Howard, but for whatever reason, maybe the page, the follow, anything like that, I'm not sure. For whatever reason, the algorithm thinks I want to see that. Let me see what this is. I don't know, but if you grab bot like that, I might back up a little bit and, on the feed. Okay, I might be scrolling through my feed and I might just back up small, right? And the way I just look at it right now, it will now go and attempt to find more. These algorithms, these machines can now recognize images, 2D images, 3D images, right? And of course, I have looked at Tiwa Savage stuff before. I don't follow Adeneye, but I know who Adeneye is, so I'm actually following now. But the algorithm was accurate. See, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of millions of different signals, right? But somebody does a good job at showing me what, like maybe based on category, based off of interest category, based off of particular peoples that you follow, based off of other people that follow the same type of people you follow, right? These are the different variables that he uses, right? All right, so now there's somebody here that's bending down like Brother D1 is saying, right? But if you keep seeing this and this over and over and over on my page, there's a good chance that I've been looking at stuff like that. Not a good chance. I've been looking at stuff like that. Okay? That's what that means. Stop the cap. What is this showing again? Tiwa Savage. Anniversary August a few weeks ago, we went to Tiwa Savage concert. Maybe that's why. Maybe I posted something, I tagged Tiwa Savage. Who knows? In fact, I think this was the show. This was the pants she was wearing in New York City at the Apollos. Okay. Now, if I watch too many twerking, okay, let me stop that before the algorithm thinks that we're watching twerkers here, right? There's Jim Ike here. Of course, Jada, right? Jada Pinkett Smith, right? What's going on, brother Ben? How are you? Right? So this is how it works. Whatever you see, they're showing me booty now. No, by the way, there's something called lazy loading. Beyond this page right now, in your mind, it looks like everything is already loaded. No, it's loading as you are going. It doesn't make sense that it would load that long ass page before you get to it. Okay, it's called lazy loading. We actually set up our website to lazy load so that it can manage its resources. You don't want it to use all the resources and computers to load this whole page, and the person is not going to get to scroll all the way down there. It loads as you go. So maybe a few inches before you get there, it loads another picture, right? So to you, it seems like it's loading. So maybe because I was just looking at that small booty earlier, now it's loaded this for me, okay? These are the things that, of course, D1 may not understand because it's coming from he was 21 when he got into broadcast. It was hot when he was in his 30s. He's 63 now. So he doesn't have any idea how these things work, right? But the reality is that when you say that, someone like me, when you say things like this, let me show you. When you say something like this,
everything is about materialistic things. He must take care of me. Do you see what I'm...
Everything is about materialistic things. Because of what I know, I ask you, I said, what kind of content have you been consuming? What kind of people do you have in your circle? Yeah, because there's no way you're talking about all 1 billion women. Okay? It's just no way, right? Do they exist, what he's talking about? Yes. Right? But it's wrong to say they're just everywhere. No, they're not. They're in your circle, they're in your feed, they're in your algorithms, They're in the kind of content you be consuming. And I'm not saying you, D1. I'm talking about the one who uses your profile. The person who uses your Instagram profile. That's what they've been watching. They've been seeing stuff like that. Yeah.
They ask somebody, what do you bring to the table? Say, look at me now. What
do you bring to the table? The kind of girl that I have in my circle will even shut down. They won't want to have a conversation with you because they're enlightened enough. They know where you're coming from with that. They just, if they like you enough, they might engage you a little bit and say, what do you mean? Right? But someone says, well, look at me now. Right? Unless they are bound to me, right? Or they might say, I'm the table, right? They are not playing around with you because they realize you're that lame. And you can't figure out what you bring to the table unless you ask. Right?
do you bring to the table?
That's why she's laughing. Right? She's like, Baba is old school. What do you bring to the table? You're watching podcasts. Of course, they make this kind of topics the hot topics on the podcast too, right?
Our women don't say, I have brains, I can do this, I can do accounting, I can help you.
Our women don't have to ever say that. They should just demonstrate it and you should be able to see it. If you can't see it, what kind of women have you been hanging around? Anytime you point fingers, I keep telling you that there's 4 always pointing at you. That's just the reality of life. Even when there was no algorithms, it was true, right? But it's more true now. We can look at data and we can say, hey, I see Yomi Gold here. Yomi Gold said, if you want a man to value you, be an asset to his life. No be a get shape, they do hamo. He's correct. It's just not the reality of what's actually happening though. It's correct. The statement is correct on surface. Ellen Paul says, Senior, don't talk and finish. 24-hour knock. Let's keep going.
Take your business to the next level. They think this is the table. I have breast, I have nyash.
Another thing, I think we went on to be show the other day, we're talking about it, right? Another thing is that nothing really exists unless there's a market for it. So you should always ask yourself, why am I seeing this all the time? What is this that I'm seeing in my feed all the time? That's the better question. Question to ask yourself, right? Why am I seeing this in my feed, right? You don't have to blame yourself. I'm not asking you to blame yourself. Maybe you stumbled, you were curious. You kept watching the same type of video over and over. Before you know it, that's basically all you could see in your feed. That's the way it works on most platforms. Okay, shout out to all 20 of you watching me. I just noticed. Hit the like button. Let's get the like up to. Please help me get the like up to 20. Thank you. Hit that like button. I know some of you are just coming from Auntie B's side. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hit that like button. I'm going to show you my feed on YouTube. This is my feed on YouTube. The first thing that pops up is my own video, right? The next thing here is Black Man, Auntie B, right? DJ Vlad. I can't blame someone else for showing this video on my feed. You get what I'm saying? You can't do that. You can, but you'll be wrong. You can do whatever you want, of course, but you will be wrong. Okay? Your feed is what you're consuming. Okay? Yes, I was watching Grant Cardone yesterday when he was running his mouth that said, if you don't make $400,000 as a man, you are useless. He was saying that yesterday. Okay? And a bunch of people were dragging his ass as his scammer in his comments, right? I watched Hardly Initiated. Tyrese Gibson for obvious reasons. Okay? Anything that has to do with that kind of content. There's my brother Durrell Long here. I do watch his platform every now and then, right? It's a mod here on this platform, right? All this stuff here is either there's some kind of intersection in audience. I don't necessarily watch them, but there's intersection in audience, or I watch something similar, or content category. That's the way it works. So Baba cannot come back and come and he's speaking to something he doesn't really understand.
Go through your Instagram. No. I would say like
if I go through my Instagram page, it's not what is on yours that I will see, right? Tima says, old school. He sounded like the guy I told you, Ola. Low key asking me about my body count, like bruh. All right, bruh. right?
I'm an elder.
Yes.
She said, yeah, Papa, you're an elder. You don't know what's going on out here. Like, you don't know. Like, don't do it. Like, leave this topic alone. Yes.
Go through your Instagram page. Before you see 10 pictures, you will see somebody doing like this. That's what they put forward, their body.
Now, if you go through, now, to come to your side a little bit, if you go to 10 people's Instagram page, will you see somebody doing like this? Yes. Okay, but it still goes back to what I'm saying. Maybe maybe everybody were hypocrites in the first place. There were always Olosho in Olosho's house since the beginning of mankind. They just didn't have a way at that time to show them on your news feed. There was no news feed. You have to go and find them. But even back then, if you have enough friends around you, they will take you. They say, what? You never been there before? Let's go and drink. They will take you now because that business has been there since the beginning of mankind. Girls that know how to, that are potty mouthed, that want to talk nasty and show their bum, they've always existed. Okay, now is it going more viral? Are they thinking it's more okay because it's all in our face? Yes, of course. However, maybe what the technology we have is revealing who we are for real, right? It's about accountability. What I'm saying is accountability. You can't blame anything outside of self. You can, but it doesn't work, okay? Because it basically it's reflection. All of it is reflection, right? But I still put it to him. What kind of content have you been consuming? If it's that deep for you, if it's that serious, which I can understand, what kind of content have you been consuming? What kind of people have you been surrounding yourself with, right? If I go to any Owambe, there's maybe one or two girls that are dressed inappropriately, okay? There's always one or two or three that are just like, how is that one wearing, right? But also, a lot of people will wear tubes, right? They call it tube, right? The one that open the shoulder, and maybe 20 years ago, they didn't wear such thing. You have to cover up 20 years ago. Well, welcome to the real world. It's always been evolving or devolving, whatever you want to call it, right? It is what it is, right? But when you see that it's common across, those are the cards, again, that you're dealt, right? You can choose to complain about it or learn how to navigate. Most people, of course, they will choose, when it's something they don't like, they choose to complain about it. And they will even tell you it's not complaining. They're just telling you, they will tell you it's the truth. They will tell you they're trying to tell you the truth. But let's leave Babadi one. No, hold on. Let me see. He might have said a couple of things.
They think this is the best part of them. Once I show Yansh like this, I go get followers. Some guys go enter my DM. Because after the man...
Any girl who thinks that way is obviously wrong, but that girl is thinking that way for a reason. Right? Anything aesthetics, money, can only last for so long. It helps. If you have Bobby and you have Kenny, it helps. If you got money, it helps. Right? Like we were talking about the Tinubu stuff, right? That you have money, it helps. But the money cannot replace the structure. Right? It can help. Anything that's elements of short terms, it can help. Right? But for you to be able to sustain long-term 30 years political career, and the same 200 million people complain about you, put you in the office, there's something more than money. It's the same thing for Bobby, all that kind of stuff. Those things get old, right? So if you don't have anything else, so he's right about that. If you don't have anything else, but while you don't have anything else, people are young. People can be young. Shout out to Tim. I said, let that poor boy breathe. You can be young, right? People can be young now. If they are young and they keep getting all this attention because of the Bobby, what do you expect from the lowest of that society? What do you expect? Like, you're responding to it. There's a market for it. Or Jawa. There are people responding to it. And some people are too young, right? Or too lame to figure out, well, they're responding to it, but I need to, right? So let me just say this out loud. Your Bobby and your big backyard cannot be what you bring to the table. It can't be, all right? Let me say that out loud, okay? But for the flip side of things, for the men, right? This is not your calling. Don't go and be lecturing people out in the streets. Right? If they're not complaining, you will shalaye tired.
You go explain because no evidence.
If they are just living their life and you walk into the street and you're like, that's what's wrong with y'all. Look at how you're dressed. You just look like a weary. Especially if it's something that the whole society is doing. Right? They were like, what's wrong with this one? Right? Like you go to a party, you see people dressed in tubes and they are doing like this and they're like, and you're like, why don't you cover up? There was an auntie in one of our churches back then. She went to somebody, one of my friends. She said they were wearing tubes. It's now at that point it was becoming more normal, right? And she went and she was an older auntie and she just embarrassed herself. You are embarrassing yourself. Okay? Should it be like that? No, you're right. It shouldn't be like that. Okay? You're right. It shouldn't be.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. It shouldn't be like that. But it is precisely like that. All right, I'll be right back.
Beautiful girl, sparkling night, killing thing. I find a beautiful girl. It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.